Welcome to the Keep Punting podcast, runner by runner, Melbourne Cup preview. I think it's fair to say the three of us boys have been counting down to this day ever since the first Wednesday of November last year. We're absolutely buzzing, even though we might seem a bit flat after yesterday's Derby Day results. But we keep punting and we push on to hands down the best day of the year. With me today, as always, I have on the left of me someone who I would call the surprise package of the podcast thus far. He's been flying from day dot, and he definitely puts the least study in, which irritates me so much. Mr. Consistent, Mr. Value, and most importantly, Mr. Stink. It's Fax.
Mr. Stink.
That's good evening, boys.
How are we feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty excited. Getting to Tuesday.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And then on the right of me, a man who at the start of the potty couldn't pick his nose if he tried, but has bounced back. He's bounced back in Tyson Fury-esque fashion, absolutely humming the past few weeks with his pockets full to the brim. The celebrity of the podcast. It's Garris.
Except me being Fax yesterday and only tipping $2 shots.
Yeah,
I think anyone would
Same as you, cunt. What do you mean you want tip $2?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I don't think I actually tipped anything that was more than
yeah, but yesterday we're raising yesterday.
I had a winner today, but
it was a humbling experience, and we move on to Tuesday.
Enough anyway, yeah. Got to give some back.
All right, so basically today it's very different from our previous episodes. The way it's going to work is that we're going to go through every runner from 1 to 24, and we're going to give our opinions on the runner, whether we think it can win. If not, whether it can run in the multiples, first fours, trifectas, quaddies, whatever you want to use, and our prediction on the horse's finish and where it's going to finish in the race.
Nice.
At the end, we're going to reiterate our top 4 picks, including a top pick, of course, best roughie for the race, and our usual $100 Group 1 strategy. So we'll get straight into it. Horse number 1, Gold Trip, $6 to win, $2.25 place. James McDonald is the jockey, trained by Kieran Mahar, Dave Eustace. 58.5 kilos, barrier 2. Luke, what do you think?
I'll start. So it's drifted out to about $6.50 now, which I think is probably a more fair price. We got beat fair and square by without a fight in the Caulfield Cup. Like I said, it opened around $4.50. Without a fight was $8. I think that's wrong. I think they're now around the $6 mark, but I still think it will continue to drift. That and the reasons for that is it's going to get its unpreferred, probably good 3 ground again. It's better we're given the ground. It's also now the 3rd week in a row it's backed up from the Caulfield Cup and Cox Plate. Had a soft 7 last year, it was average field, and you got 20 to 1, if not longer. And now it's the second favourite, a good 3, and it's had 2 tough runs backing up. And obviously, I haven't even mentioned it's the top weight with 58.5 kilos. So for mine, it's a pass. It has to drift. But obviously, can it win? Yes. Multiples is a must. I think it has to run probably top 5, and I'm gonna. I've got it here finishing as 3rd because it's still a classy horse.
Fair.
Yeah, look, I think the good freeze probably put me off it, but in saying that, I was raving on about it because last year's win was unreal for it. Similar prep as last year, but in saying that, it's a no for me. Was it now $6?
It's about $6.50, I think.
$6.50, yeah, probably an okay price, but yeah, we'll drift on the day. But look, top 6 chance for me, but I don't think we'll be winning.
So, for can it win, do you think it can win?
No, so I don't think it can win.
And was it something that you'd include in multiples?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sweet. Well,
it's a big ask that you're saying, Carl.
Yeah, but fair enough. Yeah. Like, look, to this day, for me, Gold Trip, it is the best credentialed horse based on what it's done in the field. It won the Melbourne Cup last year. It came 4th in the Arc, which is arguably the best race in the world. So you can't ignore it. But it was just set up perfectly last year. It had a soft run Caulfield Cup, and it had basically a barrier trial on the Cox Plate, and then it went into a Melbourne Cup over 3,200 where it was a wet track, which is suited to a T, and it had a bunch of very average runners in the race as well. It just had everything pointing towards it. We missed it, unfortunately. But this year, it's just the complete opposite. The Caulfield Cup hard run race, Cox Plate, it did have a bit of a run. It wasn't a barrier trial like last time. And it's not going to get a soft track. It's going to be a good track.
Didn't even mention the
up 1.5 kilos, and that's what I was just about to say. Barrier 2, it could be a disaster for it. I think the horse is better when it's ridden cold and it just steams over the top of them. With the barrier 2, I know he's got J-Mac. If someone's going to work it out, it's him. But extra 1.5 kilos and that awkward barrier draw. I think it can win because it's the best credentialed horse in the race, but it's going to need a hell of a lot to go right. And I think, just like Gareth said, for multiples,
It's a lock, sure.
you can't leave it out. For first fours at least, you can't leave it out. And I've got it as a finishing position as 4th. What did you put it as?
6.
6.
I got a 3rd. Oh, so I'll just go again. Should we just do the same order?
Yeah. So number 2, ALENQUER,
Oh.
$61, $14 a place. Damien Oliver in the saddle, trained by Mike Maroney, 56.5 kilos, barrier 9.
Yeah. So at the moment it's under a bit of injury cloud. I think it's got a bit of. I don't know if it's lame, but it's got a bit of heat on its leg. So you'll find out if that runs the next day or two. I think it's a sneaky run in the Moonee Valley Cup. Went to line untested. I think it got gelded this prep too. Ticking along alright, untried over distance. Back in the day, if it came with its old form, it'd be state of rest. You'd think, fuck, one of Cox Plate.
100%.
I think it's big odds, and rightly so. It would be a good ending for D. Oliver to finish off his career. Can I see it winning? Obviously not. For me, multiples leave it out, and I've ranked it to finish 17th.
Perhaps. What do you reckon?
Well, I was actually going to put this in my roughie of the field. Yeah, I don't know. The way it trotted up in the Moonee Valley Cup and just like
It was weird.
it actually was bolting. So it was actually a bit
somewhere
scary.
about 7 horses. That's
It's a bit scary, yeah, I know. So I just don't like to wait for it. To be honest with you, so I'm going to leave it out. But yeah, it could surprise.
It's been weighted off what it has done, like what a unit
Yeah.
or whatever.
But yeah, other than that, I'm not having any more multiples, and it's a no from me.
Cool.
Okay. Finishing position?
15th.
Alright, sweet. Look, like Luke said before, and it's another horse with that Arc to Triomphe form. Obviously, it finished a lot further behind than Gold Trip did. Ever since it came to Australia, it was crap first prep, been a lot better this prep, and it was a bit of a flashing light run in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. I'm not sure about the form out of that, but we'll talk about that later. It's got a huge weight though. That's one thing that really puts me off. If it was carrying something smaller, like a lot of those runners out of the Moonee Valley Gold Cup are, maybe I'd consider it. But it's got improved lengths off what it's done so far. I can't have it to win, but I think you can have it in maybe a few multiples here and there. Obviously, the injury cloud probably takes it out, and maybe won't even compete in the race. But yeah, definitely come in. And my finishing position 17th as well.
There you go.
Yeah, so let's go to number 3. Without a fight, $6 a win, $2.25 a place. Mark Zahra in the saddle, trained by Anthony and Sam Friedman, 56.5 kilos, barrier 16.
We already touched on it earlier. I think they went up too big considering the price of Gold Trip. So I think $6 now is probably fair. Obviously Zara's picked this over Gold Trip, mostly due to the weather forecast of it being good weather. For me, this is the main danger in the race. To my top tip, which you'll find out after, which I'm sure everyone already knows. And the draw's a bit sticky, but another thing is, can Zara go back to back in the Gold Cup? Obviously, yes, though, can win all multiples, and I ranked it obviously second, as it's the main danger.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I didn't really like the draw, to be honest with it, but yeah, look, it definitely can win, and you have to put it in your multiples. It's probably the stupidest horse if you didn't put not in your multiples.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's almost a lock, I reckon.
Likes the good track this year, gets that this time instead of last year. Had the soft, doesn't really like it. But yeah, we've got to trust Mark Zahra, but hopefully he doesn't win.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, like touching on what these boys said.
What ranking did you put it as well?
4th.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, look, touching on what these boys said, I love the preparation of this horse. Like flashing first run in Underwood, which is a good form race, and then it was obviously it had a problem. It was meant to run in the Turnbull and had a bit of an issue, a setback. So then it ran the next week in the Caulfield Cup, which was always running in, and it was unbelievable. You know, it hit the line very strong, went through the line well. I had a query over whether it was going to appreciate the longer distance. I do think 3,200 metres will just see it out, sort of thing. But obviously, it's going to have the good deck. Mark Zahra in the saddle. I don't think the barrier's as bad as what everyone thinks, because I think it's got to get ridden cold anyway, and at least it won't be cluttered up on the inside. Barrier 16 is not too bad.
A lot of winners have drawn wide lately anyway. So.
I can just see this thing steaming down the outside and being in the finish. Yeah, I think it's a massive chance.
It's probably got the most upside as well to any horse, because it's almost like first up.
Mate, it's got so much to improve further.
It's got a lot of
after a lot of issues and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Yeah, I agree.
Huge chance, it definitely can win. Has to be in every single multiple, and I've got it as a finishing position of 3rd.
Right.
Luke.
Sorry.
Next, number 4, Breakup. $19 a win, $5.50 a place. Ridden by Koihei Matsuyama and trained by two Yoshi.
Shout out to Mitsu.
is trained by T Yoshioka, 55 kilos, barrier 18, Japanese Gallopar, Garasco.
I feel like with this horse, it's kind of ride it off at your own peril because you shouldn't be riding up Japanese horses. But I think the run in the Corporate Cup was very underwhelming. Sorry, it's going to have to improve a heap to turn the tables on horses that clearly beat it. I thought it had the perfect run in that race too. It was right in front of the winners, first, second, third, and just did nothing. But yeah, you can't doubt the Japanese, like I said, case proven yesterday in the Golden Eagle. The star jockey's coming over, but I don't know if that's good or bad because it's the first time he's riding in Australia. So it has to be respected though. So can it win? Well, yes, it could win. And I'm obviously going to pop in my multiples then. And I'm ranking it to finish 8th though. Makes no sense.
Go.
Yeah, look, the Caulfield Cup run was okay. It wasn't unreal, but
Fucking shit.
I don't know. Like as I said, you can never write the Japanese off, and I've got this as second. So
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So $19. I think. Second up, it's got a good record, and I think it's better over more distance. So 3,000 plus is what its go to, in my opinion. So in saying that, I reckon it's a big chance.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's bullish.
Yeah, that's
fair enough, but I don't blame you. When I wrote this down, I wrote that this horse pisses me off more than any other horse in the race because on his Japan form, he finished 4th in the tenor show over 3,200. The horse who won that just lost to Equinox 2 starts back.
Well, no, last start.
Yeah, last start.
Out of the whole cup, this is the best form.
It's the Equinox is the best horse in the
Imagine
race.
this was first up.
Dead set, the best form, but mate, it's got a lot to improve on a first up run. But it does seem like a dour, long distance
One
runner.
thing with it is it doesn't have a turn of foot.
Yeah.
So a fast run race probably suited it.
It raced very plain in the Caulfield Cup, but like horses had similar runs that were from Australia that are average horses and went past it. Like it looks so plain. But yeah, I don't know. We saw Oban Boromai the other day come out and brain it, and Japanese jockeys, Japanese horses. The jockey's coming. There's a lot of ticks. Yes, it can win for sure off its best form. I'm gonna risk it on Tuesday myself, but it can win. I would have it majority of my multiples. I maybe would leave it out of a few. And finishing position, I have it as 8th as well. Let's go for the next horse. I don't know if you've heard of this one. Number 5, VAUBAN, $4.20 to win, $1.80 to place. Ridden by Ryan Moore and trained by Willie Mullins. 55 kilograms, barrier 3, the winner.
I don't know if there's much else to say. He just fucking wins. Now, obviously, it's a favourite, and as half of Australia knows, I've got a big multi-riding, as we all do. Clear top pick for me, set for a long time for this race, a few years ago was brought for it. I think it's beat the handicapper, considering it's only been assessed off its flat runs and not the best horse in the world, Constitutional Hill, the jumps form. Ryan Moore as well, probably the best jockey in the world, arguably, and he showed his class last night winning the Breeders' Cup in an unreal run. Gun draw as well. Normally we don't like the back favourites in a cup though, and this is pretty short. But I think for once it actually deserves it, and a favourite hasn't won in a long time, so they're probably due. One maybe minus more knock could be a super firm track. So please board it. I think what's his name, O'Neill, the track manager. I think if it had a bit of give, it'd be a top thing. So a good thing. This is my top seed. Can it win? Yes, ranking 1 in everything.
Fair.
Just win, yeah. But yeah, look, I think barrier 3, Serpentine will probably go forward. I hope it sits just behind it, really, in my opinion.
Sounds
and it should get the gun run and have no excuses. So, if it's good enough, should be winning.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
number 1, obviously.
I carry the sentiment to these boys. It's our boy. This horse has been targeted to this race 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they bought this horse with the intention of this Melbourne Cup. They had to go on the jumps. It won all the top juvenile jumps races. Then versus the big boys, Constitution Hill and Stateman. If they were in this race, they would. We even heard just a bit before, but genuinely they would have won by like 20 lengths. So people have queries on this jumps form from the UK, and I think they're wrong because over there, what people don't realise is jumps racing is their biggest form of racing, right? So if the top line jumps horses would beat our stayers and even probably their stayers over there.
Competitive.
So look, even after that though, it's had 2 go at the flat races and absolutely trounced them, being underdone in one of them. Beat its stablemate by 7 lengths that we'll talk about in a minute. but you know, very well weighted handicap. Go forward, bowl along. Very, very fit, and yeah. Like Luke said, we avoid favourites in the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, it's hard back.
I don't know how to go against it. Top pick, finishing position number 1, put in everything. Number 6. This is an interesting runner, SOULCOMBE, $8.50, $2.90, been backed a bit, ridden by Jorge Moreira and trained by Chris Waller, 53.5 kilos, barrier 3.
Alright, so I think we're going to say the same thing here, which is quite obvious. If this horse jumps, it has to be a major player. Obviously missed Caulfield Cup by 6 lengths to start, and then the race was over. Again, this was brought by Waller about a year ago, or just after, around the same day, ran in the lead up, I'm saying, I don't know. About a year ago, targeted for the Melbourne Cup, Caulfield Cup this year. Craig Williams jumping off though, which is interesting to ride another horse, but like you said, you get Moreira, which, you know, that, if anything, that might be a positive.
I think it's a positive.
He's pretty good, and he's in good form. But yeah, the race will be running won or lost for this horse in the first 2 seconds. So the draw is okay, but if it misses it, it's pretty much game over. I've got it, obviously, yes, can win, but you know your fate very quickly, and I've ranked it to finish 6th.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, look, I like SOULCOMBE. I've went out won over 2,800 meters. I've always thought this horse is bloody good. Actually, no, second against. Was it
won the
Golden?
2,500 one.
24. Yeah, when
won the Queen Elizabeth.
That right? No.
Yeah, did. Yeah,
came in on the Queen Elizabeth this time.
Last time.
When it ran second, I think it was against Goldman or White Marlin.
Goldman.
Always, like, it was against the track pattern that day, and it just kept them going and going and going. That was over 2,800 meters, I'm pretty sure.
It was.
And to me, like, it just wants more distance, so 3,200 meters is going to help it for sure. But as I said, it's just you're risking it on the jump. But yeah, if it jumps well, it's definitely a top 3 chance in my opinion. But I've ranked it 5th just because you don't know. Could just be steaming home and just grab that position, but definitely include it in your multiples. And can I win? Yes, if things go obviously to plan.
Yeah, look, I agree with these boys. Like, it's one of the best local chances, that's for sure. It's probably the best local chance. Preparation.
It's not even a local chance. Like, what do you mean by it? As in Aussie?
I can see it stays here in Oz. It's under Chris Waller's care. You know, preparation has been probably the best preparation in terms of like that typical tradesman-like Bart Cummings, 1,700, 18, 2024. 3,200 metres will suit to a T. That's what it wants. It's dying for it. It's going to be run on one in the first 100 metres. This thing, it needs to jump well. If it jumps well, huge chance. If not, from barrier 2, is it barrier 3? All the best. But I think the booking of Jorge Moreira is the perfect jockey to try and get it out of the gates, you know, as best as possible. But yeah, can definitely win. Needs to jump and needs a lot of luck from the barrier. And multiples have to. And finishing position 6th as well. So for me, yeah. Let's move on. Number 7, Absurd, $14, $4.20 a place, ridden by Zach Purden, trained by Willie Mullins, 53 kilos, barrier 8.
Alright, so this is my main cover bet of the race. It's already about 30, open 34s yesterday, barrier draw, it's already I think $13 now. Stablemate to VAUBAN, which we've obviously nearly declared. On form, you said lost by 7 lengths to it, however, the leader VAUBAN had all favours that day. And if you around the 600 metre marks, I think it was still around 20 lengths behind it and cluttered up. So I don't know. It's a hard way to look at it. Just if you look at it on the actual paper form, it doesn't look that good. But it gets a nice little weight swing on it, and it loves fast tracks. These things. It's definitely proven at 3,200 and beyond. So for me, it's a major play, and it's a top jockey with Purden. Draws very well. It's my value play. I've got it. Can it win? Yes, and I've ranked it at 5th.
Yeah. Well, if you like VAUBAN, in my opinion, you got it like this. So as obviously Luke just said, in saying that, I like the barrier as a barrier 8.
Yeah.
One of the best barriers for Melbourne Cup horses, winning strike rate. So in saying that, has to go on everything, and I've ranked it number 3.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it can win. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Stablemate at fave. It's a huge danger, the biggest danger to it, I think. As Luke said, VAUBAN did beat it by 7 lengths first start, but Absurd was stuck last on the rail and absolutely steamed home. And the trainers came out and said that it was more underdone than VAUBAN on that day as well. So it's got a lot of improvement to come on that. The way it won the E-ball was humongous. It's wide the whole trip and steamed home, kept fighting and won. It's a previous hurdler, will stay. Absolute humongous chance. Zach Purden on as well. He's got an affinity with Willie Mullins. He rode Max Dynamite to come second or third in one of the Melbourne Cups. He breeds very, very well for mine. I think he can definitely win. Please don't, but I think he can. In everything, and my finishing position, I have it as a second. So, yeah.
Nice.
Number 8, Right You Are, $51, $12 a place, ridden by Johnny Allen, trained by Kieran Maha and David Eustace, 53 kilos, barrier 8.
So the rest of these now are all going to be pretty much chances that aren't great. It's got a long tail, this race. Anyway, it is a consistent horse, but however, this has to be beyond it. It's got to be too rich for him, this race. Top 12 chance at best, because I think it just fights, albeit it did exceed the market expectation in the Caulfield Cup. I assume 3,200 doesn't see it out. Try hard, can it win? No, exotic stuff, put it in for 14.
Facts.
Yeah, same. I'm just obviously not interested really, but
Yeah.
look, it's a very consistent horse, and
Good horse to own.
it does fight, but I just don't think 30. I prefer like over 2,000 meters, but I don't know why they're stepping this horse up. Anyways,
They think he can stay, that's why.
yeah,
I don't know.
but yeah, definitely a no for me, and I've finished at 14th.
Yeah, so look, I don't think it'll be coming last or anything.
No.
But look, we fought on alright on the hot pace in the Caulfield Cup.
It actually was good in the cup.
But I just don't think he sees out the 3,200 at all. I'm with Fowkes in the fact that I think it's a 2,000 metre horse. Can it win? No way. And multiples, I'll leave it out. Finishing position 16th for me.
Cool.
Alright, number 9, Vow and Declare. Another very interesting runner. $27 to win, $7 to place. It's going to be ridden by Billy Egan, trained by Danny O'Brien, 53 kilos, barrier 19.
Alright, so obviously this is the Melbourne Cup winner from 4 years back now, which is nuts that it's in the
That's
race.
hectic.
4 years later and essentially carrying the same weight.
Less, I'm pretty sure.
It's one more, I think.
Oh,
I think he carried it too. Though it did win the race by default because there was stupid interference. It's the last Aussie bred horse to win. It wasn't even meant to be here, but because it's going so well, they threw it in. Got the right form lines, alligator blood, dual, etc. That's all stood up. Loves good ground, clearly loves the trip. Drawn sticky, but it's in well at the weights. It would be absolute crazy history to win again 4 years later. I think it's top 6, 7 player with draw from the luck. Can it win? I'm going to say no. Exotics, I've got a list potentially. I have it in some, and I've done finishing position 7.
Yeah, look, I've read this is the scary horse of the whole field because we don't really know what it can do because it just ran that good this past 3 runs, and it's very, very scary. But in saying that, needs a good, gets it this year instead of last year. It's just the barrier that puts me off. But then again, it won by barrier 21 4 years ago. So I think with all the pace and stuff like that, I find it hard to get a spot. But if it drew well, it's definitely in a top 3. I reckon it'll be in a top 3, 4 chance for sure. But I've put it at 7th. Do I think it's going to win? No. So I've just left it at that. That's it.
Exotics.
But keeping the exotics,
Cool.
just in case.
So obviously, it's a previous Melbourne Cup winner. The barriers absolutely killed the horse because I thought it was a massive chance. Its form this prep's been unreal. Second behind Alligator Blood being third Jewess, who came 3rd and 4th in the Cox Plate. And then it was huge 3 wide in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup, just lost the nose. Firm track this year, loses a kilo and a half from last year. Billy Egan on, which I think is a massive plus. I have a huge opinion on him. I've just got no idea where it's going to get from the barrier. I don't know if it can win, but I will not be leaving out of multiples, and I have it as 7th.
Same.
Yeah.
I got it at 7. I got it at 7 too.
Yeah. So
if you have the exact same, nearly the exact same minute.
yeah.
It's a bit weird.
So we.
No chance.
Yeah, I do think it's a massive chance it gets a spot though. Anyway, number 10, Cleveland, $27 to win, $7 a placement. That's a shocking price. Ridden by Mickey D.
Stupid heaps, isn't it?
Trained by Chrissy Lees, 53 kilos, barrier 23.
Another one that's another one that was bought last year for this race, or was it last year? Yeah, I think so. It actually is going well. I don't think the trip will be an issue. He got a gun ride to win the Moonee Valley Cup by J-Mac last start when there was heaps of hard luck stories out of that race. But that Moonee Valley Cup was a very bunch finish, so I'm not actually sure about the form. I've got it as a top 12 player. Can it win? No. Top 12 player best, sorry, if you were to bet in those markets. Can it win? No. Exotics knows I'm going to rank it at 15th, which might be a bit harsh, but...
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough. I didn't like the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. There was that many horses that could have beat it. It just had all the favours and just not for me. So 13th, and I wouldn't have it in my exotics.
Well, I went Phil was saying before, this was actually favourite for the Melbourne Cup last year for about 4 months.
Yeah, that's fun.
So crazy.
Look, it had all favours in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup with the piece from J-Mate. Drawn horrible here. It does stay though. It's got good form over in the UK when it gets up to these sort of distance, and the firm track would definitely suit as well. It failed on a Sydney Cup 3200 earlier this year. It was on a heavy track.
Favourite, wasn't it?
But the one thing is like I don't think it's the best weighted, and again reiterating the draw. So I can't have it or anything. I'll be leaving it out, and I've got it finishing 16th. So
What, is it?
Shit.
I had 15, okay.
I got 13.
Yeah, moving on.
number 11, ASHRUN, $35 a win, $8.50 a place, ridden by Kerem McAvoy, trained by Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace. Barrier 11, 51.5 kilos.
Alright, so this is coming off a 3-year tendon injury, so missed nearly 1,000 days. So amazing job from the team to get it back in actually good form as well. I think it's going really well. It ran well in a couple of years back after backing up from winning the Lexus back then out to Houghton. I think it's a top 10 player, but I think it would just be absolutely cooked if it won after such a long layoff. So I've got a can it win though. I've left out of exotics and I've ranked it to run 9.
Yeah, look, I actually like this horse. I find it hard to get in the 10 though, I will be honest, but just, you know, it's
got a nice draw.
all credit to it for coming back and, you know, doing well.
Yeah.
I thought it should have won, was it the Geelong Cup? Yeah, the Geelong Cup, and just got out a bit later, but it will see the trip for sure. It only lost 4.5 lengths last Melbourne Cup against Twilight Payment. $41 is a big price, but I've ranked it 12th and I don't have it in multiples, so.
I wouldn't sleep on this horse. If you go back and watch the 2020 Melbourne Cup, which was a very, very strong edition, mind you.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was 20. Fuck, is that long?
There were 2 horses who flashed home. One was Very Elegant, who went on to win the Melbourne Cup the year after in ridiculous fashion, and the other one was ASHRUN. Now this horse, like Luke said, it ended up with injury, had 2 years off, 3 years off, whatever it was, and then now it's come back and it's been unreal even since its first up run. So Kieran debuts, I trust them. I think that if there's one stable that can bring a horse back and have it in enough form to run in the Melbourne Cup, it's them. It's got Kieran McAvoy on, which is the most successful jockey in the history of the race. 51.5 kilos per 11. I'm giving it a decent chance. The Geelong Cup race, it actually moved back in distance 200 metres, which obviously wouldn't suit. It's a horse that wants the extra ground. So I think back to Flemington, 3,200 metres, I think it's a top 10 chance. I've got it as 10th. I don't know if it can win the race. Might be stretched too far, but it's going to be in all of my multiples. So, yeah. Next, number 12, DAQIANSWEET Jr., 101 to 1 and $21 a place. Ridden by Daniel Stackhouse, trained by Philip Stokes. 51.5 kilos, barrier 12.
So I reckon this thing's probably over the odds at $101. Loves the distance. It was literally set for this race after it ran really well last year. Like straight away they came out and said that. It's got a nice draw, likes good ground, sees out the distance. Does it have the class? Probably not. So I think backing it to run top 10 could be a good bet if you were to play that. Can it win? No. Exotics knows I'm ranking it spot on 10th. I think it's a bit missed by the market.
I think it's over the odds, but I don't think it can win, and I've ranked it 16th and not having it in multiples.
Yeah, look, the horse will stay.
Yeah.
It actually ran very well in last year's Melbourne Cup. I watched the replay long ago. 101 to 1, huge price. But at the same time, I don't think
it's better horse.
It's not going to be fighting at the finish.
No.
So I'll be leaving it out of everything. Don't think it can win, and I've got it as 16th. Oh, I've got it as 15th. All right. So next we have number 13, OKITA SOUSHI, 91 to 1, $20 a place, ridden by Dylan Gibbons, trained by Joseph O'Brien, 51.5 kilos, barrier 20.
I feel like I'm not. I mean, the run was bad in the Caulfield Cup. It was disappointing. Not really sure to deal with this also because it does show a glimpse of its old form before it came here. It could improve. It definitely stays, but I think this will still be too rich. So for me, it's a pass. Can't win no exotics. I've ranked to 13th.
This is Japanese horse?
No, it's Joseph O'Brien. Irish horse.
If this came here first up in the Melbourne Cup, this would be short.
Yeah, it would.
Follow its form. Follow it by the name. I don't know. Anyways.
It's got Japanese owners.
Yeah, Japanese owners. I think that's what it is. Yeah, look, I'm not interested. Pass. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Look, where you got it to finish?
20.
Alright, so I think it's got absolutely no chance.
That's 13.
Looked promising when younger in the UK, absolutely horrible in the Caulfield Cup, terrible barrier, absolutely none for mine. Can it win? No way. Multiples, no chance, and I've got it coming 24th.
Shit, last.
It's not going to run last.
Don't like it. I don't think it's handled it coming here either.
Yeah, potentially.
Number 14, SHERAZ, 126 to 1, $26 a place.
Bing.
Ridden by Bowen Mertens, trained by Chris Waller, shouldn't be in the race. 51.5 kilos, barrier 22.
Alright, so another one that was brought last year for this race by Waller, so he's done a good job. The one
He's done good, yeah, good investment.
Comes out the bunch, Mooney Valley race, but they all finish within 4 lengths. Stays all day, good track, bad draw. Put in a good run second up, but hasn't gone on with it. If the best version of his horse turns up, it could run top 10, but definitely not for me. Not backing it, not an exotic, so ranked at the 20th.
I was actually tipped as one of my best values like 6 weeks ago.
It's just gone.
Yeah, it's just gone shit.
That was after the second up run, which is good.
Yeah. So it did show promise, then it just faded away. I don't know what happened to it.
Fuck knows.
Should have been in the race. I ranked at 23.
It shouldn't be in the race. That's fair.
It's no form.
It is a stay up.
Alright, I've priced this at 5,000 to 1. It'll get to 3,200, but if anything, it wants it with a bit of cut in the ground.
Okay, can you give us your recommended prices?
Hasn't
that time you're like 210.
Nah, I got. You know, he's told me off. So.
hasn't turned up. Just prep it all. It's drawn the car park. It's got absolutely zero chance, and I've got it finishing position 22.
Oh, cool.
Anyway. Number 15, LASTOTCHKA, $18 to win, barrier 5 to place, ridden by Craig Williams, trained by Mick Price, Mick Kent Jr., 51 kilos, barrier 21.
Alright, so this is the absolute X Factor horse here. Craig's jumped off SOULCOMBE, which is a great chance in the market to ride this. However, it is very, very hard to tie in the form line, so you're taking a punt. Looks like it stays. It's won over 3,000 metres last start. Sticky draw, and one knock when doing the form taste. It looks like his best form is on rain-affected ground, so that might be a bit of a knock. I obviously cannot be ruling it out. I think it'd be silly to not have something small on it, either just in case it wins, you don't lose. It's a clear X Factor horse. I think it can win. I'm having it in my exotics, and I'm ranking it 5th. However, it could literally flop and just run no. It's completely unknown.
100%.
Yeah, it's a hard horse to judge, but from looking at it, obviously likes more the rain. So, in saying that, Craig has obviously jumped off that of SOULCOMBE, so it is a bit of alarming. It is alarming. But yeah, it's very unknown. $21. Would you take it? Yeah, why not? I've ranked it 8th, and I would put it in my multiples. Yes.
I'm under the impression that Craig Williams got sacked off SOULCOMBE, in my opinion.
Maybe.
No, Chris Waller would never sack him.
He missed the kick.
He's never
3 or 4 times with him.
Never.
And now he's got, I'm under the impression he sacked him. And to get Jorge Moreira on, I would do that.
Yeah, for to be honest.
Has he rode it before? He has, hey?
Jorge
Moreira?
No,
I don't think
Didn't
so.
he ride it first up?
No, Blake Sheen did.
Yeah, I don't think so.
When it won?
Blake Sheen. But look, this is the X factor.
Sheen would have rode it, but he just can't make weight.
This is the X factor of the field for sure. It's almost impossible to tie up the form with other runners, but he's proved over 2 miles. It absolutely took the piss actually in France when it ran over that distance in a race that has a lot of very promising runners come out of it. The stable has a very big opinion on it, so did the trainers. Has to be considered, but like Luke said, it could just flop. I do think from the barrier 21, they're just going to bowl along and go straight to the lead. I think it's going to sit outside Serpentine. That's where I've got it on my map anyway. I think it can win. It's hard to tie in, and I think you have to chuck it in multiples just in case. And I've got it finishing 6th. Okay. All right. So number 16, Magical Lagoon, 151 to 1, $34 a place, ridden by Mark Duplessis, trained by Chris Waller, 51 kilos, barrier 7.
So I actually think this thing's over the odds at 150 to 1. It's an interesting import. It's only ever ran once good, which was last start Geelong Cup, which I actually don't like the form, but it's lost by 1 length. It's not even a length behind ASHRUN and finished along more FELONS, which are way shorter. This is unknown distance, has one over 24. I don't think it can win, not for mine, but 151's a big price, and I'm ranking it 19th.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 151. Probably got maybe, $60 to $80 maybe. Probably $60 probably about right. But yeah, can't have it in anything. I'm ranking at 22. But decent run in the Geelong Cup, to be fair. And can it win? No. Exotics? No.
Over the odds, no chance though. It's got no form over the distance, and the form was okay over in Europe. I don't think it'll set it out, to be completely honest with you. It's got none for mine, finishing 20th. Barrier 17. Number 17, Military Mission, $34 a win, $8.50 a place. ridden by Rachel King, trained by Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott. 51 kilos, barrier 5.
So this thing is flying. This prep, great draw. Rachel King in form, coming off winning the Coolmore and Osmosis on Derby Day. Likes good ground, unsuited at the trips. It's a pass of mine. I don't think you can win. I'm not putting in exotics. I'm ranked at 18th. It's probably a bit harsh, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's flying the horse. I just didn't like the form that came out of his last two races. Has been pretty shit. So coming to a Melbourne Cup, it's actually been smacked from $60s to $34. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I've ranked at 17th. Can it win? No, and no multiples.
Good track tick, good barrier tick. Gay Waterhouse gone well. I'm a little suspect 3,200 metres. The form out of the race, like they said, hasn't been the best. Look, I think from barrier 5 though, it's just going to have absolutely every chance to like acclimatise to the race and have the easiest possible race. I really like how Rachel King's going at the moment as well. She's been really good this year. Bit of confidence on Osmosis stuff this weekend as well. I thought of the lightweight, like Australian chances, Australian-based horses. It's probably one of the better chances, but I don't think it's going to be challenging the favourite runners at all. I don't think it can win. I'll be including it in a few multiples, and I've got us finishing 13th. Yeah, okay. Number 18, Serpentine, $34 to win, $8.50 to place. Ridden by Jai McNeil, trained by Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. 51 kilos, barrier 1.
So I reckon this horse is a little bit of a sneaky. I think it was a really good run in Bart Cummings last night. Had no luck, drops a heap of weight, which hasn't seen this weight probably ever in its life. Lloyd, Williams, Jai McNeil have combined to win it before with obviously trial that payment, and it'll be similar tactics, just a daring ride, bowling along in front. All depends on what horse shows up for Serpentine. Could be horrible or can put in a good run. Gay was also adamant this was her best chance over White Mile and Goldman when they were both in the market as favourites. So that's interesting. However, it's still a no for me. I don't think it can win. Exotics, maybe. So I might put it in some, and I've ranked it 11th.
Yeah, everything that Luke said. I actually don't mind this horse, to be honest, only because of the weight. Its old Derby form was quality, but I just don't think it's shown that in Australia. But in saying that, massive weight drop, and considering the way it likes to obviously just bowl along forward from barrier 1, Jai McNeil, he's done it before, Twilight Payment. I feel like he will be in it for the last maybe 150, 200 metres and it might die off. But who knows, it's, as I said, it's got nothing on its back and it looks actually quite decent in my opinion with the price. I've ranked it 9th. Can it win? No, but I would put it in my multiples.
I've got a very different opinion on this horse. I've got a massive query over the distance. I look back at its UK form, never got anywhere near it. Never shown anything near its type of quality it was when it won like an Epsom Derby when it was younger. Dropped heaps in weight, which is a positive. I don't think it'll be a complete disgrace, but I reckon they're going to go that fast in front with the likes of VAUBAN, LASTOTCHKA, all that stuff. I think it's got absolutely none. I've got it finishing 18th. Can it win? No, not in the multiples. Yeah, I'm happy to completely avoid this horse. Number 19, Virtuous Circle, 150 to 1, $34 a place. Ridden by Craig Newitt, trained by Liam Howley, 51 kilos, barrier 6. Luke.
This thing's making out the numbers simple. It has had a hard prep, unlucky prep. Likes FELONS, can say it's a massive no for me. I've got this finishing last.
Hey, look, it's got absolutely no chance. If everyone actually wants to have a bet, I'll take 3,000 to 1. So I'll accept that. But look, no chance. I got it finishing 23rd, so second last. All right, number 20, more FELONS. $35 a win, $8.50 a place. Ridden by Jamie Carr, trained by Chris Waller. 50.5 kilos, barrier 24.
So this was previously named scriptwriter in the UK. It's now named FELONS because of FELONS and Brizzy, but feel good to tell you a bit more about that. At this point, I've wrote 1,500 words and I can't be fucked. So look at the form. Ties in with VAUBAN and ABSURDE. Nice weight swing. Jamie Carr, bit of form. Can't win for mine. Not in the exotics and ranking at 12. Drawn horrible.
Yeah, look, I actually like this horse. I thought the Geelong Cup was massive. Geelong Cup run was massive.
The Geelong Cup was massive.
Jamie Carr on board. No.
She rode a double, man.
She did.
She's coming back.
Coming back. Maybe it could be a fairy tale, but who knows? But yeah, look, I ranked at 11th. $34, not a bad price. If it drew better, I would have it on multiples for sure. But can it win? No, and multiples, no.
This was another horse that I thought had the most live chance, but it was killed by the barrier.
Yeah.
It has the form around VAUBAN and ABSURDE from the UK. Yes, look, they both beat it comfortably. it didn't have the best luck in its runs, and it has a massive weight swing in those horses, like huge weight swing in both of them. It's had the benefit of a run in Australia, in the Geelong Cup. It picked on its run at the end, hit the line strongly, but being a previous hurdler, it's gonna love the 3,200 meters. And you know, like Luke said, most importantly, like to all my Brisbane mates, it comes from FELONS, which is off its head. So especially on a Saturday night. So like, if somehow Jamie gets this horse in some sort of reasonable position from 24 and not too far back, I give it a winning chance. Like genuinely. So can it win with so much luck? So much luck. I think it's a sneaky chance. I would include it in a good chunk of my multiples, and finishing position, I got it as 9th. So yeah. Anyway, 21 future history, $21 a win, $6 a place, ridden by Holly Doyle, trained by Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace, 50 kilos, barrier 13.
So I like this horse a lot. I think it's been ticking along quite nicely. I think it was a huge run in the Moonee Valley Cup, but you could tell it wasn't there to win because it probably didn't want a penalty with the Cup in mind. Gives me the floating artists, Per Sam, Grand Promenade vibes, or young, fit, in form, and or untried at distance, but have all excelled. I think this horse will do the same. Holly Doyle on, interesting, good jockey over there, but a bit unknown. For mine, it's my rough pick from the lightweights. Can it win though? No. I've got it in all exotics, and I've ranked it to finish 4th.
Yeah, look, could bite me in the arse, but I don't really like this anymore. I did like it at the start, but I've looked at the form, weight swings, and from the races it's came from, and it doesn't really tick a lot of boxes. So it is a dark horse though, if you do look at the form. It has been racing well. I've ranked it 10th. Can it win? No, and it's not in my multiples either. But then again, it can pop up. But the way I see it is horses like, Without a Fight, SOULCOMBE, Gold Trip, ALENQUER, LASTOTCHKA, VAUBAN, BREAKUP, all better than that. So
Yeah, look.
if you look at it that way.
I don't mind the horse.
Yeah, I don't mind the horse either.
Look, it ran very well in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup, 2,500, sitting very wide, wider than Bound Declare. Has gone through the grades, etc. very well, but has no form close to 3,200 metres, and I'm not sure it's the type of horse that will necessarily thrive stepping up to it. It'll get every chance from barrier 13, I think. Well, that's if Holly Doyle handles coming here to Flemington into a Melbourne Cup for the first time from the UK. Look, he'll run a solid race, but I can't have it as a top contender. I've got it finishing 11th, and I don't think he can win, and I probably won't have him on multiples. So yeah, let's move on. Number 22, Interpretation, $91 to win, 20th place, T.O. Nugent. Kieran Maher, Dave Eustace, trained 50 kilos, barrier 17.
There's another one that was also brought last year for the Cups. It just showed a lot of glimpse of promise, this horse. We got the snip this prep, so it was gelded, and I think it's actually had a good prep. It's just a little bit hit and miss. Just got its nose in front to win the other day to qualify. So, and in my opinion, that form wasn't good enough. So I'm going no, can't win. I've got it no on the exotics. I've ranked it 22nd.
Yeah, look, it does get a bit of favours. It needs a good ground. It was a good win in the Geelong Cup, but in saying that, this horse needs that much luck the way it is. Like over the 5 starts, you could back it probably 20 times and it wins maybe once. So in saying that, no for me. Exotics, no, and that's it.
Horse is an idiot.
Exactly.
It turns up sometimes it just can't be asked. I have a query over 3,200 too. Fought out a bloody Bendigo Cup last week, not for me. Can I win? No. Multiples? No. Finishing position 21st. Number 23, Kalapour.
No, I've got it 18th, sorry, Michael.
Yeah, no stress. $46 a win, $11 a place. Ridden by Zachy Lloyd, trained by Chris Lees. 50 kilos, barrier 14.
Going right to get it into the race of Molly on Derby Day, so yesterday. However, it's not up to these, can't win none of the exotics. I ranked it second last at 23rd.
Who did you just say?
Kalapour.
Yeah, look, it's a no for me, but good win on Saturday. It needs that much luck for it to back up 3 days and go anywhere near winning. So I ranked it 19th. How much was it paying?
I don't know.
46 to 1.
46 to 1 should be about 546 to 1.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's 46.
Can it get in multiples? No. And can it win? No. So.
Cool. Yeah, look, this is another horse where I actually don't mind the horse. But
don't mind the horse, but
I have a query over 3,200. Backing up from running on Saturday to qualify. Zach Lloyd's current form's not the best. It won't disgrace itself, but it won't run anywhere. I've got it coming 19th, so No to winning, no to
I'll say we got 19th as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Alright, last runner. So you can go to sleep or whatever you're doing. Number 24.
So you can go to the kite.
So we can go to the car. Number 24, Drew Marvel, 126 to 1, $11 a place. Ridden by Benny Thompson, trained by Matthew Smith, 50 kilos, barrier 10.
Alright, so this thing will obviously stay the distance. Also coming out of the Bunch Mooney Cup finish in the Mooney Valley Cup. It's ran third in the Brisbane Cup though, 3200, and second in the Sydney Cup, 3200. So that's quite interesting. Every time it steps up to that distance, it seems to run well. If this is a truly one Melbourne Cup, this horse stays, so it's in its favour. I don't think it has the class. I don't think it'll win. I've left out of exotics, I'm ranked at 21st. I think that's probably a bit harsh, but it could easily run in the first half of the field, to be honest. Over the odds.
Yeah, look, it does stay the horse. So in saying that, probably about the price that you would take it at. But I've ranked it at 21. Can it win? No. Exotics, no.
Easy.
Yeah. It could finish like
Yeah, it could.
15th or something.
Yeah,
I think this is the best of like the 40 to 1 plus horses.
Yeah.
I think it's proven over 3200. It's drawn very well. Barrier 10 for a race like this. I liked its lead up run. It's equally as good as ALENQUER, and it's dropping way more weight at 50 kilos. Benny Thompson's a good jockey. It's a huge price, absolutely huge price. I will definitely be having a coffee cup bet on this on the day. I don't think it can win, but you know, coffee cup's a coffee cup. Can it win? No. Multiples, I'll have it in a few for sure, and I've got it as a finishing position as 12th. So
it is your top 12, to be honest.
yeah, so that's all the runners. So we'll recap basically what we said. So Luke, you give us your top four, your
yep.
best roughie, and who you reckon's going to come last.
So my top four is in order: VAUBAN to come first, Without a Fight second, Gold Trip third, and Future History fourth. My biggest roughie, I'm going to stick with Future History, though I don't mind Serpentine as a bit of a sneaky. And like I said, to run last was Virtuous Circle for me.
Facts.
My top four is VAUBAN first, BREAKUP second, ABSURDE third, and Without a Fight fourth. My roughies are BREAKUP and Serpentine, as well as a bit of a sneak. Yep.
And last, Virtuous Circle.
Virtuous Circle last.
Yeah.
So my top four is number 5 VAUBAN is my top pick, number 7 ABSURDE second, number 3 Without a Fight in third, and number 1 Gold Trip in fourth. My best roughie is number 9 Vow and Declare, and last I've got OKITA SOUSHI. Now to finish off, we're going to do our $100 strategy for the Group 1s as we do every single week for those of you who followed the podcast before. So Gareth, what's your $100 strategy?
Alright, so I'm doing a box first 4. I'll be going with, I get about 47% for this. So the 1 Gold Trip, and this is any order, so just box it up. The 1 Gold Trip, the 3 Without a Fight, 4 BREAKUP, 5 VAUBAN, 6 SOULCOMBE, 7 ABSURDE, and down at the bottom, the LASTOTCHKA and Future History. Yeah.
So it's $100 on that.
It's $100 on that, full boxed up, so I can run in any order. It's about 7 horses.
Yeah, mine's same, doing $100, first 4 boxed up. Number 5 VAUBAN, number 3 Without a Fight, number 1 Gold Trip, number 7 ABSURDE, number 6 SOULCOMBE, and number 15 LASTOTCHKA.
So I've gone for a little bit of a different approach. I've also done a first 4, but I haven't just boxed them. I've boxed the same horses for first, second, and third, and then boxed different ones for the fourth. So in first, second, and third, I've boxed up VAUBAN, ABSURDE, Without a Fight, Gold Trip, and SOULCOMBE. And then for fourth, I've boxed up Gold Trip, SOULCOMBE, More FELONS, Vow and Declare, LASTOTCHKA, and ABSURDE. So I think VAUBAN Without a Fight will come in the first 3, and so I've left them out for the fourth. And yeah, that runs about 52%. So yeah, that's our Melbourne Cup preview, runner by runner. All the best, all the strength in the world to VAUBAN, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Come see me, I'll get you a drink, you idiots.
Ciao guys.
Best, yeah.